three.
Hi everyone, my name is William Gross, and I'm here to bring you guys as much value as possible. I'm here to save you guys at least $100,000 a year by keeping mom and dad at home. Myself, I got started in this business years ago. The main reason why is my father. If my father was alive today, he would be 87 years old, and he passed away 10 years ago. 10 years ago, I knew nothing about assisted living, memory care, independent living, the whole senior living space. The only way I healed from that experience, it was very traumatic for me. We never went to assisted living, we never went to a group home, we never knew anything about Medicare, nothing about what I'm looking to teach you guys. So he ended up passing at home. And I believe if he would have known what I know now, he would have lived longer and a better quality of life. So that's why I got into this business. Fast forward a few years later, now we own 8 different locations in southeastern Michigan. We have 87 beds, and that's why I'm looking to teach you guys what we do there so you guys can do it at home and save you guys $100,000 a year at least. So, 3 things. Starting with number 1, you gotta hire your own team. The only way that you could, because typically if you go out and spend money on a nursing care at home, I know mom and dad, they want to stay at home. They don't want to go to a nursing home, quote unquote nursing home. They don't want to go to assisted living or memory care. They want to stay at home. Typically it costs between $30 and $38 per hour. You're paying a third-party company to hire their own people, and they need to make money. There needs to be a premium there. And you could save at least half by hiring your own people. What do? Really easy. You go on Indeed. You could find a really good person or multiple people, depending on how many hours you want per day, for 17, 16, 18, or less, depending on what income level you're at. If you're in the country, it's a little bit cheaper. If you're in the city, it's a little bit more expensive. But you can just run a simple ad looking for a caregiver to take care of my mom at $17 an hour. Here are the things I'm looking for. And it comes down to the second thing. Number 2 is you gotta have mom or dad do activities. So what is that? You could go on YouTube, talk to your caregiver, and say, here's the exercise programs I'd like mom and dad to do. Learn them and teach mom and dad. You could hire music for $50 an hour or cheaper, depending on who they are. Maybe you know somebody who could volunteer for free. We partner up with a lot of the churches in the areas to come in and do communion at least once a week or more, depending on what you're looking for. So they could have exercise every day. They could have music multiple times per week. They could have church as well once or twice a week. Then there's also free services, where it's free to you, because there's a thing called Medicare. Most of your loved ones over the age of 65 will qualify. Actually, all of them will qualify for Medicare. And you could find third-party companies willing to do activities at home covered by Medicare to kind of get things going with your loved one. The third and the most important thing I would say, especially if mom and dad has more behaviors, is medications. That's really the only way you could control and make dementia a little bit better. If they're sundowning, which means they're up all night long and up all night long and sleeping during the day, there's different medications. And again, I have to say, I'm not a doctor. I'm just speaking from personal experiences from our businesses. There's things you could use if they're verbally abusive, if they're striking out. Seroquel is a really good starter drug. You could bump it up. If they're having more problems, you could mix in anti-anxiety medication like lorazepam. Again, you have to talk to your doctor. And 2 things with medications. Number 1, you want to partner up with a physician who specializes in geriatrics. With my dad, he went to the same doctor he did for 40 years, and he knew how to talk to him. We brought him there, and he was a completely different guy in the doctor's office than he was at home. And who's the doctor going to believe? His family or the guy he's been dealing with for 40 years? And unfortunately, we just never got the medication help. That's really important. Going beyond that, the next level is if you could find a company or doctor who's willing to do genetic testing. It depends on your genetics. Some medications work better than others. If you get that resource, it's an extra extra help. And also, really important, I personally would not do business with CVS, Walgreens, Walmart. It's maybe cheaper, but that's more of a transactional relationship. What you really want is a customized personal relationship where you could go to the pharmacist who's local and say, hey, Joe, here's this medication. It's not really working. What do you think? Here's some of the feedback. You want to talk to the doctor who specializes in geriatrics. Here's some of the feedback. Here's some of the things I'm seeing at home. Here's some of the things that if you got good caregivers, you get the feedback. And through trial and error over time, and hopefully a short period of time, you can really have good meds to keep mom and dad sleeping all night long. That's what you want. And have activities during the day. You want to have a good caregiver that could, change their pants, have good incontinence. And through that, you really don't have to be there 100% of the time. You could have 24-hour assisted living, not nursing, but assisted living care, and your mom and dad will be taken care of at home, and you could really enjoy them for a longer period of time. It's much cheaper doing that versus paying somebody like me or another company $100,000, right around there, to get that same service. We don't charge $100,000. We're able to bring more value than that. If you have any questions, feel free to shoot me any messages. Call me at 586-883-1932. Or if you just don't want to go through the hassle of this and let us do it, feel free to give me a call and a comment down below. I appreciate you guys, and stay tuned to more videos.